Welcome to the Family Holiday Destinations podcast, where we inspire your next family adventure. I'm Jessica Palmer, mother of two and founder of Family Holiday Destinations. And today we're chatting with Intrepid Travel about family group tours with kids. First, we'll check out a few exciting family travel news stories, including the brand new Hello Kitty Café on the Gold Coast and Intrepid's latest family tours. I'll have a quick chat about why I think luxury travel is ruining family holidays. Then we'll jump into an interview with Brett Mitchell from Intrepid, where we chat about group touring for families, the pros, the challenges, who it's ideal for. And to wrap things up, I'll share some of my most practical tips for reducing costs when you're traveling as a family. So let's get into it. Kawaii fans, this one's for you. The Hello Kitty and Friends Cafe has officially opened at Pacific Fair on the Gold Coast, and honestly, it's peak cuteness. This is the first cafe of its kind in Queensland, following the success of the Melbourne flagship, and the whole concept is designed to be a full multi-sensory experience. Think themed dining rooms, pastel interiors, selfie corners, exclusive merch drops, and of course, food. The menu has a Japanese twist. Strawberry sandos, bento boxes, poke bowls, and there's even a takeaway counter for those who just want a cute coffee and a pastry. But the real showstopper is Cinema Roll World, a fully themed dining space with custom tableware and ceiling art. It's perfect for birthdays, families, or anyone who just wants a little hit of nostalgia and cuteness. And if your kids or yourself are collectors, the retail store is packed with limited edition apparel and accessories inspired by both Sanrio characters and the Gold Coast lifestyle. It's a must visit if you're heading to the Gold Coast. In huge news for travelling families, Intrepid is expanding its family range to 50 worldwide trips and reducing kids' pricing for 2026. Family bookings are up 15% year on year, and Intrepid has responded with 10 brand new itineraries. We're talking the Galapagos, the Amazon, India's Golden Triangle, East African safaris, Slovenia for teens, Greece, and multiple Turkey itineraries. Kids now receive 20% off the full trip price on all Intrepid family departures, which makes these trips far more accessible. One thing I love about these itineraries is the kid-friendly pacing, shorter travel days, and more hands-on experience to keep them engaged. You'll find immersive experiences like wildlife spotting, eco-lodges, Bollywood dancing, cooking classes, rafting, stargazing, and cultural activities, all led by local experts. Guided family travel has become really accessible for families, and these trips are perfect for parents who want cultural depth without the stress of planning and organising the trip. The final news story is actually an opinion piece on luxury travel and how I think it's ruining the idea of family holidays. Luxury travel itself isn't the problem. It's great. The problem is how it's being sold to families. A growing number of parents feel like a holiday doesn't count unless it includes an overwater bungalow, a private pool, or a resort that costs more per night than your weekly mortgage. But luxury shouldn't be the default, and it certainly shouldn't be the benchmark. Kids don't dream about marble bathrooms. They need time with us, a bit of adventure, ice creams after dinner, and a few hours in a pool or at the beach. Real family travel, road trips, camping, 3-star motels, messy moments, they still matter. And I reckon it's these experiences that shape our kids the most. Travel is about connection, not perfection, and certainly not the price tag. You can read more about my thoughts on this on the website. I'll put the link in the show notes. Would you go on a group tour with your family? If you had have asked me this 10 years ago, I would have said no way. The thought of being tied to a strict schedule and the stress of worrying if my kids are annoying other non-kid travelers didn't sound like my idea of fun at all. But when I was at a family travel conference in the USA a few years ago, I met with someone who works at Intrepid Travel and learned all about their family trips. So this means traveling with other like-minded families with kids, slower paced itineraries than a regular tour, and optional activities for if you or the kids need a break. Even better is that Intrepid is B Corp certified. Now, I haven't actually gone on an Intrepid family trip yet, but I've booked one for next April school holidays. With this in mind, I reached out to Intrepid and asked if they'd like to have a chat with me. Thankfully, they agreed, so I sat down with Brett Mitchell from Intrepid to chat all things family group touring and to see what I've gotten us into. Here is our conversation. Thank you so very much for taking your time to talk with me. I really do appreciate it. And for listeners who might not be familiar, can you tell us a little bit about Intrepid Travel?
Intrepid Travel. We're a small group tour operator, and we travel to over 100 different destinations or countries. We've got over 1,000 different itineraries. Aussie-owned business, and been going for 36 years now. And I guess we focus on really immersive travel. So, when you go to a different destination, make sure you meet the local people, you learn the culture, try the local food, and we really specialise in that. So, yes, absolutely go and see the iconic destinations, but get off the beaten track a bit more and meet the people, and that's sort of what we specialise in. And we try and do that ultimately in a responsible way and a sustainable way to make sure that we're giving back to the local communities that we visit.
Absolutely. That's great. So how do Intrepid's family group tours differ from simply joining a standard group tour with kids in tow?
Well, they're organised. They're well organised. We have one of our most experienced leaders, local leaders, who really understand the destination and the culture. So you're really looked after, I think. It's a fully planned trip. So it really takes a lot of that anxiety out of, having to rush to get to a train station in time and the like, especially when there's different languages.
Yes.
So it's just a really easy way to travel, a really hassle-free way to travel. And obviously the trips are really designed, well, not just for the children, they're really designed well for the children, but also for the parents. So it's a really good mix of, maybe kid-focused activities, but also more purpose-led or cultural experiences as well. So, both parents and the kids can get the best out of their holiday and learn a lot and get out of their comfort zone and try new things. And I think one of the best parts about it as well is that you travel with other like-minded families.
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
might travel with three to five other families. They could be from England, they could be from the US or Canada. So the kids actually get to learn a lot, not just about the destination they're traveling to, but they get to learn about other cultures as well with the other kids and families that they travel with.
Yeah. So absolutely. So I haven't been on one yet, but the big appeal for me is that the kids would have someone to interact with.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't necessarily be my job the whole time to, listen to the mom,
And Jessica, it happens very quickly too. The first day, the kids are very standoffish and no one wants to talk too much. It would take about 12 hours, and every family trip I've been on, the kids bond very quickly.
Yeah.
And as you say, after that, as a parent, it's much easier. They have a lot of fun together. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that actually leads into my next question, is that many parents love the idea of their kids making new friends on holidays. Do you try to group kids of similar age?
We do. Yeah, we understand it's quite an important dynamic, I think, when you do go travelling. So our minimum age for most of our trips is around 5. And then we also have what we call teenage family trips. And that minimum age is around 10. So,
Yeah.
I think if you definitely had tweens or teenagers, you could pick that teenage style travel, and you generally have similar age kids, and vice
Yes.
versa. If you've got younger kids, you can stick to in that 5 to 10 age bracket. It is a pretty important part. It does help with the dynamics a lot. It doesn't necessarily have to be. I've been on some great family trips where you've got 15-year-olds looking after 7-year-olds in a beautiful way, really. So yeah, there's easy ways when you look at our trips and how it differentiates. And obviously with data protection laws, we don't talk about details or disclose family details,
absolutely.
but we will be able to talk a bit about the ages of the kids if you do want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So are there any challenges that families should be aware of before joining a group tour? Like, for example, personalities or sharing experiences with other families? Like, do you have groups where people just don't get along?
It's a good question. I've never been. I've had 5 family trips now, and you get along. I mean, I think with Intrepid, we tend to have very sort of like-minded people on our tours, and those people they're global citizens, they're open-minded, they're social, and they want to try something new and different, and that's why they come on our trips and really grow from that. So, I think lean into it. Everyone normally has a bit of apprehension, I think, and obviously diversity is a big part of getting out of our comfort zone, but it's also some of the best parts of the trip is that, we get out of our algorithms and we meet people that we wouldn't normally meet from different backgrounds, different countries, and that's a huge part of it. So, but yes, you have to be respectful and be patient. And I think if you can do that, knowing that at times you share experiences together, you share space, so hence why you need to be quite respectful. But otherwise, it's a great way to travel, and our trips are also designed to make sure that if you don't want to go on every activity and you want some time on your own with your own family, you can opt out.
Yes.
And there's plenty of flexible time as well as a family to go away and explore something just on your own. So it has a good balance.
So with the family tours, does that mean there's a bit more downtime than a regular tour? Like a bit more time to do your own thing?
Definitely in the younger age bracket trips, where generally there's always pool time in the afternoon that the kids always love.
The kids need it.
That's right. And definitely the trips are designed in a way where you minimize travel days as well. So you keep really short travel times and days. You stay 2-3 nights in each hotel. You're not moving too quickly.
Yes.
It's a much more balanced way to travel. It slows you down, and you can really get to enjoy the destinations in a lot more depth when you're there.
Yeah, nice. So what's your advice for parents who are considering their first group tour, but they're not sure if it's right for their family?
Oh, look, I think you got to just make sure you have a healthy conversation as a family. I think it's actually part of the fun, I think, when you can sit down around a table with your family and talk about what is the type of holiday that we want. And so, I would probably start by suggesting having some fun around a table with your family, talking about what type of holiday you want. Do you want to actually have a complete relaxation around a pool? Do you want beaches? Do you want nature? Do you want something more active? Do you want to actually just have a good balance of all of that? Start with those discussions, I think, and then that will help you identify the type of trip you want. And then you can move on to another fun part, which is the destinations. There's, like I say, there's over 100 different countries Intrepid Travel to. So then start to work out what sort of a destination you want, and then you can work it from there. So, and have fun with it. I think that's a great part of planning travel.
Absolutely. So I'm really fascinated by the fact that Intrepid is proudly a B Corp company, because there's obviously these days there's a lot of greenwashing about, and it's a big achievement to actually achieve the official B Corp, status. Can you explain what that actually means for travellers and how it influences the way your family tours operate?
Yeah. So, and thanks for raising that, Jessica. I mean, it took our business about 3 years to get certified as a B Corp, and then we get independently audited every 2 years after that. So there is a lot of rigor behind it. How do I summarise it? It means as a business you have to be held to the highest standards around transparency, governance, and sustainability. are the three key pillars. And it started out because really what it makes you do as a business is that it makes you focus on all stakeholders. So whilst most businesses and directors are held accountable to really servicing the best interests of their shareholders,
Yes.
as a B Corp, you need to balance that and actually give back to all of your stakeholders. So as a travel company, that means, obviously our shareholders, but our customers, it means our staff, it means our supply chains, our suppliers, it means the communities we operate in, and it also means the actual environment we operate in. So as a business, we really try to make sure we're balancing all of those stakeholders, and that ultimately, when you travel, means having a great time, trying to spread the wealth to family-owned and run small businesses in the different destinations we go to.
I was going to ask that. What does that look like on the ground? Does that mean partnering with smaller, locally owned businesses?
Absolutely, it does, Jessica.
Make sure the money stays in the community.
That's right, exactly.
Yep.
And also being a small group tour operator, it actually means you can do that. You can select beautiful little family-run restaurants because you're a small group. You can go in there and you can meet the owners and you know where your money's going, and it's a great way to travel. It gives back to local communities, and of course, the environment's the other one. It's really trying to tread lightly and make sure you try and leave a destination in a better way than when you first travelled there, and that's sort of what we strive to do as a B Corp.
Yeah, nice. So what are some of the more popular family tour destinations right now, and why do you think they resonate so well with parents and kids?
Out of Australia, the most popular by a long way are a lot of the Asian destinations.
Yeah.
And primarily it's obviously great value going to Asia. It's a short-haul flight, generally direct flights.
It is, and definitely the flights are cheaper from Australia to Asia than most other states going to Europe or the US. Yeah,
exactly right. It's and you can pack a lot more in a shorter time without those really long flights with kids. But also just culturally so different to Australia as well, isn't it? So the likes of Vietnam is probably our most popular at the moment. I went there last year. Borneo is another great one in Malaysia. Japan is obviously very popular, and one that's really booming at the moment is Sri Lanka, and probably next year might be one of our most popular.
I have noticed that one popping up on the radar a lot. And definitely Japan's been booming for the last year.
It has, all very different, all great places to go. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I think Vietnam is having a resurgence too at the moment.
It is.
My daughter turned 1 in Vietnam, and she's 10 now, and I can definitely see the appeal. It was such a lovely place to travel with kids, especially young kids.
Yeah, beautiful people, beautiful food, and a lot of diversity. Just being in Hanoi and some of these older cultural cities, but then obviously being in amazing places like Halong Bay and into nature. So a lot of diversity.
Absolutely. And I think for younger kids, it's really nice to go somewhere where kids are genuinely celebrated.
Yes.
And so you can take a toddler to a restaurant in Vietnam and nobody's really fussed when your child sort of cracks a wobble. Your waitress just comes and picks your baby up and
That's right.
plays with them, and nobody gives a look or it's lovely. Yeah.
That's right.
So last but not least, what's your personal favourite tour with Intrepid?
Oh, I said I've been on 5 family trips so far.
Yes.
It's a hard question. I would say it's between Japan and Vietnam.
Okay.
Both trips, as I said, had so much diversity. Great for parents as well as kids. Both quite active. They really got you out and got you exploring, and whether it was a half-a-day bike ride or some great little walks. So both of those, I think. And next year, I'm really looking forward to going to Africa on a Intrepid family trip. So I'm originally from Zimbabwe, and we've now got some family comfort trips in southern Africa, Botswana and Zimbabwe. Okay. So I'm looking forward to taking them back to see my home country, but also going on a beautiful safari together as a family.
So what does the comfort trip look like as opposed to the regular trip?
So the same
Like, what's the difference?
the same great experiences. Obviously, the accommodation standards are a fair bit
Yes.
higher. So we typically move into that 3.5, 4-star type accommodation. And at times it might not be as rushed. So you'd stay longer in some destinations,
Yeah.
be a bit more immersive in there and have real quality experiences for a longer stay ultimately in some of these areas. So, but the same great leaders, same great experiences, but just with a bit more comfort in the accommodation side.
Yeah. Do you have a bucket list trip out of the new ones that are coming up in 2026?
Bucket list. I'd love to go to Turkey, to be honest. So I'm thinking probably in 2027 for me. Again, I think direct flights out of Melbourne. We're a Melbourne-based company. Having direct flights to Istanbul. I remember being there a very long time when I was about 20 years old, and such a vibrant, alive city and country with, again, so much diversity, beautiful people. So I'd really love my kids to be exposed to a new culture, and Turkey would be up there for me.
So when I look at them on the Intrepid website, the Morocco one in particular is quite affordable. Have you been on that one personally?
No, so I've been to Morocco about 6 times, Jessica.
Okay.
Absolutely love Morocco. So it is in Morocco, just generally in all of our itineraries, not just family. Morocco is our number one destination out of Australia at the moment, and has been for a good 12 to 18 months. So incredible destination. So if you haven't been, 100% agree. You need to get there. Again, just beautiful people who love family, and there's just so much to see. Yeah.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you today. So thank you so very much. I do appreciate it.
No, thanks for having us on, Jessica. And like I say, if you haven't been on one of our Intrepid family trips, you've got to get on there.
We've actually booked the Intrepid tour to Bali. This particular tour is for those with kids aged 10 years and up. Mine will be 11 and 13 when we go. And after speaking to Brett, I'm really looking forward to it. The itinerary looks amazing with snorkeling, whitewater rafting, a turtle rehabilitation centre, and plenty of opportunities to learn about the Balinese culture. How to reduce costs when travelling as a family. For this month's tip, I wanted to share some ideas from our article on travelling as a family on a budget, because let's face it, travel is expensive. One of the simplest ways to save money is timing. Travelling in shoulder season and off season drops the cost dramatically. Flights, accommodation, and even attraction tickets. We visited New Caledonia a few years back in shoulder season, and yes, the water was a little bit chilly, but certainly you're still able to swim, and the savings made it absolutely worth it. I'm talking flights that were half the price of peak season pricing. Another big one, self-catering accommodation. Having a kitchenette or even just a small fridge can save hundreds over a week. A villa in the Cook Islands cost us less than a resort, and we spent hardly any money on restaurants. And finally, don't underestimate the power of flexible flight dates. Leaving one day earlier or later can save hundreds. Use Skyscanner or Google Flights to compare dates, and always check for red-eye flights if your kids can sleep on planes. Little changes add up, and they can be the difference between maybe next year and yes, we're booked and going. So that wraps up our chat about family tours and how to do it all a bit cheaper. We'd love to hear if you've been on a family tour and what your experience of it was. What have I gotten us into? Thanks for joining me today. I hope this episode has inspired you to explore something new with your family. For more tips, detailed guides, and family travel inspiration, head on over to familyholidaydestinations.com. And until next time, happy travels and enjoy making those family memories.